All right. Is that what happens?
No, you press the red button to turn it on, and then the stop button to turn it on.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope we capture that. So next time, let me know. Everyone review that video before you use the camera. So sometimes when you try to attack this ankle pick, people get like a little bit keen to it, right? And what they'll do is just really posture up, right? So like they know you want to take their head to their ankle, or they know you want to snap them, and it just gets really difficult, and you start to force the situation, and you end up like this, right? It's no good. So not only will they posture up, but most of the time they also won't leave that leg, right? So you can do everything right, you get in, you engage perfectly, you're pulling, and he's just leaving that leg forward. Yeah, he just won't give me this, right? That's fine. From here, instead of going to the ankle pick, you also have another low leg option, which is a John Smith single, on the same side that you have the head, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm pulling, I can't get it down. That's fine. I'm going to cut the angle so I'm inside his legs, facing out, right? And as I do that, as I pull down, I lower my level, right? I'm not just pulling him and staying up top. I'm pulling down and lowering my level. As he pops back up, I drop in on this John Smith single, right? So there's a few things going on here that are really, actually the whole thing's important because this is a pretty technical move, but there are like 3 or 4 things that are happening almost simultaneously that are really important. My temple is going to the inside of my opponent's knee here. My left hand in this scenario, so the hand that's in between his legs, is planting on the mat. My knee is planting on the mat, and my forearm is planting outside of his ankle, just like in the ankle pick scenario, with one caveat. So as I do this, notice as it sort of all comes together here, just stay there, right? I'm dropping in here, right? As I do this, it's imperative, circle this way just a little bit, that my entire forearm isolates his entire foot. If I don't, if my arm is up, turn your feet outside. He can turn outside, he can start sitting down on top of me, he can triangle me, all kinds of fun things. So, as I hit this, really isolate that foot. I'm not allowing him to turn. From here, because of the setup, we've sort of dropped straight down, right? And what we really want on like an ideal John Smith, if I was hitting it from distance, is I would hit it at this angle. Same angle that we were throwing the ankle at, right? But I can't always do that when I'm dropping straight down. However, as I push, I can modify my angle, and that's really important. So I'm in here, my same side knee is down, just like before. My back foot is the one I'm gonna spring off of, right? My opposite side foot. As I push, I'm gonna push my temple into his knee, this direction. As I do so, I start to run my legs towards him and around. I'm gonna catch outside of the opposite leg. You can really just be this post here. And now, remember how you were asking about that lace leg? The same thing, right? The leg that I had, over top, up into side, right? One more time. Starting the same way, engaging, I'm pushing, I'm pulling, I can't get this leg forward, I can't really get his head down. That's fine, I can get this same side leg forward, maybe, if he's a good partner. As I pull down, he pulls up, dropping into this John Smith all at once. Hand is hitting, forearm's hitting, my head right to the inside of his knee, my knee's hitting, all in a fast follow. I drive through it as I run my feet to the outside. One quick note about head position. Maybe you caught this because it was implied in what I said about turning his foot. But you don't want your head to go through his legs, right? That's the same thing as him turning his foot out. Right here, I'm out in front. When he turns it inside out, or when he turns it outside, right? You saw how my head started to slip in, right? I want to avoid that. So it's important that you keep your head up, right? It can be like a little bit scary. You might think you're gonna hit yourself, but you're probably much more likely to hit your own head, not looking where you're going than looking where you're going, right? Just like in everyday life. So I'm right here, my head is up. Right here, not here. Right here, drive through it, circling around. Questions?
How much of a delay is there between, like, when you drop down and hit the single and actually push him over with your head?
There is a bit of a delay, I would say. There's more of a delay when I'm showing it because I'm trying to not destroy his knee. But if I've done this correctly, it's sort of the same question you asked on the ankle pick, right? If I've done this correctly and I've isolated all of that pressure right over top of, right on his knee, right into the outside, he's stuck, right? He can try to like step over top and stuff, but if I'm here, I'm in such a good spot. He can try to move his foot. He can do whatever. He's just gonna go down eventually, right? So it's like you don't have to blow through him to do it perfectly, which is great for your partner's knees too. Any other questions?
A note on like not to dive bomb.
Yeah, this one is more of a dive bomb, or I would say it's like an elevator in free fall than a dive bomb. Maybe that's the way to articulate it, right? I'm not going with my head down, right? Like I said, my head is up. I'm lowering my level as he's raising his, and I'm going straight down. So I'm dropping in here, right? On like a customary John Smith, sort of what like Alon is talking about, is like if I was out here hitting it from distance, I don't want to go down here, right? I want to like lower my level and attack in, just like that. So the same premise applies, right? I'm lowering my level, I'm keeping my head up, but there is more of a drop on this one and less of a spring in on the initial shot. Questions? Let's do it.